Well, we could turn this this entire May campus and the Biscayne Bay Campus into a parking lot. We could pave over everything, and there still wouldn't be enough parking. So we're very anxious to see public transportation expanded to the May campus and the Biscayne Bay Campus. If we would have been more aggressive on public transportation years ago, we wouldn't be having this problem today. And so what's critical is the 826, 836 intersection. It'll get redone. It's getting redone now. The minute that happens, bus rapid transit will come all the way out here, which is rapid transit via buses from the airport and from downtown. The other part about building more parking garages is every time we build a parking garage, students pay for it. So the fees will go up. Right. Somebody's got to pay for it. And so we're not anxious to see student fees go up unless it's absolutely necessary. Plus the fact we feel we have a tremendous advantage by having the youth fair and the unbelievable parking right to the south of the campus. And we think that we ought to take better advantage of that. And the youth fair has been very cooperative. Well, the agreement that we have with the legislature and with the Board of Governors is that we will raise tuition by up to 15% a year for about 7 years to get to the national average. Now, it's not that we want to raise tuition. The issue is how can we continue to provide a quality education for our students. And what we found in the last couple of years, we've lost, as a result of state budget cutbacks, nearly $100 million. And so raising tuition is a way that we can continue to have the forward momentum that students want so they can graduate in a timely manner. Will we raise tuition next year? I honestly think that we're going to take a very close look at that. And if the legislature doesn't make the move and raise it, we will probably not be as aggressive as we were this year, but we will be prepared for that. But that also means that we won't grow our university as fast as we might have otherwise. So the short answer is I'm cautiously optimistic that we will not have to raise tuition by too much if we do it all. It's a shared responsibility that students need to identify what they want to do and lay that out, and the major maps allow them to do it with a 4 or 5 year option, and then we've got to guarantee that the courses will be available for students to take in a timely manner. And so it's a shared responsibility. We're going to work hard to do our part. We know that we've got to do better. We have to be very sensitive to the fact that a lot of our students work. And we're not telling our students not to work because we know that they have family responsibilities. And so we want to find a way to help our students, if they're working, to graduate timely, and if they're not working, to graduate timely. Our students are the quality of our students that I most like, and there's a lot of qualities that I like, but I'd say basically the basic quality is their determination to succeed against all odds. What happens is that the longer they prolong their graduation, the greater the likelihood that they will not graduate. And so what we're trying to do with the major maps, with more intrusive advising, is try to flag those students who are starting to slow down and urge them to stick it out for 1 more year, get the courses that they need, and to graduate. Now, some of that is also a function of financial aid. And we're very concerned about indebtedness. Student indebtedness has gone from about 29% of our students with debt in 2007 to 48% today. Student indebtedness has gone from roughly $9,000 or $10,000 to about $16,000 or $17,000 today. That's a sign of the times, the unemployment, the family stress out there. But we've got to find a way to work together to make sure that the students who does want to graduate timely has everything that they need to do that. We're very pleased to have new students here. Our strategic plan calls for us to grow by 2,000 every year. So we're right on our plan. We think growing is important because there is a huge demand for access by qualified, eligible students. And so we don't want to turn our backs on students who are qualified to be at FIU. I like students being here. I like the idea that students are surrounded by other students, because I know learning takes place not just in the classroom but out of the classroom. Do we need more classrooms? Absolutely. Do we need more faculty offices? Yes. Do we need more parking spots? Yes. But we know that we're doing more and more of our courses online, which is relieving some pressure on the classrooms. We know that we're going to be building over the next 3 years about 300 new faculty offices. And we know that we're bringing several new classrooms online, which will relieve some of the congestion. Will there ever be a time at FIU when there's not a lot of students, when there isn't a demand for classes, when parking isn't tight? No. And that'll be a good thing, because it'll show that the institution is vibrant, that students are realizing they're getting a product here of value. So I'm excited about the growth. I'm really pleased that the faculty have risen to the occasion. What counts is whether students learn, and really, truthfully, there's no relationship between class size and learning. The critical thing is to have great professors, really great advising, determined, qualified students. We have all three. Our strategic plan calls for us to be at 52,000 students by 2015, and so we're currently at about 50,000 students. We're a little bit ahead of schedule in terms of that growth. We're pleased about that growth, in part because we have had a surge in applications from eligible qualified students, and so we've had, this year is the best year yet in terms of average SAT scores, which is the highest we've ever had, roughly about 1703. And we have a very high grade point average. But what we've decided to do is, for next year, is not to grow the university any more than it already is. So if we're at 50,000 students or 51,000 students, that's where we will stay for the 13-14 academic year. Now, what that means is that your brother and your sister may not get in.
Right.
And that we may be turning our backs on eligible qualified students. I'm very uncomfortable with that, but part of that is a function of the fact that the state budget has been reduced again, and so we just want to make sure that we can maintain quality, so we're going to slow down the growth at least for a year. Well, in the first place, FIU is, I've been at FIU since 1976. And truthfully, I can't remember when there were no construction cranes on campus. I can remember when there were no new buildings being built. And that was not a good feeling, because you could feel around you the community was growing, the community's dynamic, the community wants more. And so now we've got a situation where we are building some new buildings, and it's very, very exciting. We're building a new residence hall that'll hold roughly 600 students. It's a $47 million construction. We are building a new science laboratory on the north side of the campus across from PG. That'll be open in January. We're just ready to pour footers for the new public health building that is going to be just to the east. Right after that, we're going to put in a new student services building. We are starting to plan the expansion of the Graham Center. Once the residence hall is finished, we're going to build a new residence hall. We're getting ready to build the observatory that comes about with a gift by Carl Stocker, a philanthropist in the community. So it's very, very exciting. However, because there is no more public education capital outlay funding, that's called PICO, which PICO builds the academic buildings. That well has been dry for almost 4 years now, and we don't see that resources coming back until 2017. We could go into what I would call a new dark ages without any new building for a while. I hope that's not the case. I hope we're able to build, because our students have very high expectations for the quality of their facilities, and globally, wherever you go in Asia, there are new academic buildings. The governments are investing in education of their students, and I don't want us to fall behind, because I know how difficult it's going to be competitive, even when you are right at the top of your game.
I've seen most of the new
areas of campus that are being remodeled. They're all part of the Academic Health Center or the School of Medicine. So my question would be that if in the future there are any plans to fund other departments apart from anything related to medicine or science.
Okay, Carlos, the northeast side of the campus is all about health. But if you walk around the campus, you'll see we just opened a new building for the School of International and Public Affairs, which is the Social Sciences and Humanities. We have a state-of-the-art performing arts complex. We have a world-class art museum. We just built a new marine biology center at the Biscayne Bay Campus that's 6 or 7 years old. So yes, there's a lot of investment in the health side of the house, but there's huge demand from students in terms of enrollment, and health is a major area of economic and social development for the community. But there are a lot of new buildings around campus. We're getting ready to build a new business building. So I think it's balanced. I don't think we're over investing in one area or the other, but clearly we have to have a world-class academic health center, and that's where some of the investment, but not all of the investment, is going right now. Okay, Carlos, the northeast side of the campus is all about health. But if you walk around the campus, you'll see we just opened a new building for the School of International and Public Affairs, which is the Social Sciences and Humanities. We have a state-of-the-art performing arts complex. We have a world-class art museum. We just built a new marine biology center at the Biscayne Bay Campus that's 6 or 7 years old. So yes, there's a lot of investment in the health side of the house, but there's huge demand from students in terms of enrollment, and health is a major area of economic and social development for the community. But there are a lot of new buildings around campus. We're getting ready to build a new business building. So I think it's balanced. I don't think we're over investing in one area or the other. But clearly we have to have a world-class academic health center, and that's where some of the investment, but not all of the investment, is going right now. Right, the Student Services Center is state funding, and we intend it to be a student services center that is one-stop, that we're going to put a lot of our different student support, financial aid, registration, in there, plus advising, perhaps career planning and placement. And so right now we are waiting for a little bit more money from the state, and if we don't get that, we're going to go ahead and build it. We're looking at different sites right now. The site that is generally preferred is a site that is just to the north of the bookstore, in the service area behind, to the north of the bookstore and to the south of Chili's. But there are other options we're looking at as well.
Can you give us a time frame for that?
I'd like to think that we'll be breaking ground within about 20 months. The emphasis is always on student services. The emphasis is, for me, every student counts. And we've got to find a way to do better with what we have. And a student should expect respect from our professional staff. Students should expect worlds ahead treatment from our professional staff. Now that doesn't mean students are always going to get what they want, because this is a university, and students expect that the university has standards that the faculty are going to hold themselves to and hold students to. But every student counts for me, so whether we raise tuition or we don't raise tuition, I expect there to be a high quality services. Career planning and placement is absolutely critical. That's one. Better advising so students can graduate in a more timely manner. That's two. Finding ways to have a curriculum and course offerings that meet student needs as opposed to faculty needs. Generally speaking, the way the curriculum has tended to be structured is it's structured around, if you will, the interests of the faculty as opposed to interests of students. This is a conversation we're having with deans. But we have challenges there because we offer courses a day and night on 3 different sites. And so therefore, a lot of our students are working full or part-time, and they can only take classes when they can take classes. So it makes a very interesting challenge particularly with those different levels of service that we want to provide. Still in all, we got to find a way to solve that so students can graduate in a more timely manner. I'm committed to that. So that's one of the reasons I sent out letters to all of our students. We sent out 40,000 letters a couple of weeks ago. We had about 180 responses. Of those 180 responses, 75 or 80 were very, very serious. And probably half of those said the issue isn't students not wanting to graduate timely, the issue was bottlenecks. Courses weren't available, there wasn't good advising, or there was bad advising. And so we're taking those very seriously and using their responses as an opportunity to get better at what we do. If students don't want to graduate in 4 or 5 years, it should be because they absolutely cannot, due to their own personal family reasons, not because of bottlenecks that we've unintentionally created in their career planning and placement. So career planning and placement is critical. Ensuring that students get the majors that they want, the major maps that we've started. We're doing things differently, that they get advising when they need it, and they get high quality advising, and that we hire absolutely the best world's ahead faculty we can hire. Well, I'm very excited about that, about BBC. In the first place, this year we just launched our expanded Academy for Advanced Academics at the BBC campus. That's about 80 high school students who are taking classes with undergraduate classes and taking IB courses in the afternoon. That's a partnership between us and the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. We are just getting ready to inaugurate the new restaurant in the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. We just recently completed the new rec center. We're in the process of refurbishing and renewing the Wolf University Center. It's going to be a couple-year different project, and we're seeing the same in the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. Our vision is very robust. Our vision is to double journalism and mass comm in size, to double Chaplain School of Hospitality and Tourism Management, and to increase by a factor of 7 or 8 our School of Environmental and School of Environmental Sciences. So we're excited about that. One of the major challenges we have is access, and we're going to need help from the City of North Miami, from the Alonzo Mourning High School and David Lawrence Middle School to help us get improved access. We're having conversations now about a roadway that could help us to relieve the pressure on access. We're also having conversations about with some potential new partners up there that are going to enhance the education space significantly, but we're not yet ready to have any public announcements on that. So we're pretty excited about the Biscayne Bay Campus. The site is beautiful. The community, City of North Miami, is very, very supportive. We're close to Aventura, which is a hot market. We're close to Sunny Isles, which is a hot market. It's just a wonderful location.